thank you everybody very much for joining this this Sitemorse webinar series about and today is our ACM, Accessibility Content Manager for content editors. And we're very lucky to have Rob Andrews, who is going to present this for us with his oh, somebody's dropped something. Rob is in charge of heading up the ACM and will be giving you a demo of how it works. Now, when this will be for Sitemorse clients, if you have a service with us, and we'll probably be rolling it out for you in Q1 of next year. So this is a wee bit of a heads up. And we'll keep in contact with you in terms of, obviously when it's going to be for you. Yes, so what I'll do is I'll hand over to Rob now. Please feel free to put any questions you've got in the chat, or we'll answer any questions you have afterwards. Brilliant. Right, let's get going, shall we?
Yeah, without further ado. Okay, welcome everyone. Thanks for coming along this afternoon. So yeah, we're very excited about Accessibility Content Manager, or ACM as we know it for short. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a quick demo as Laura says, and I'm really happy to answer questions afterwards, etc. If you hang on to the end, we've actually got we've got a little special, because we're coming up to Christmas, a little Christmas gift for you to offer at the end of the demo as well. So if you keep tuned for that, well, I'll present that towards the end. So let's crack on then. So hopefully everyone can see my screen, and what I've got up here is a website. It's a live website, but we obviously use this for demonstration purposes. So I want you to imagine that this could be your website, and we're going to use this to go through the functionality and the features that we've got in the ACM. Now, before we're going to kick off, I think what's really important to mention is this is for content managers. So you may not have, or the people using this will not need to have necessarily any technical understanding around the WCAG standards, etc. We're just going to assume that someone knows that you need to make something accessible on websites, but perhaps doesn't have all the knowledge that kind of surrounds that. And I'm going to go in a little bit more detail about why that makes such a difference. So let's go through. I now want to imagine that this is a website, and I'm a user, and I've come along to this website, and I want to get some accessibility assistance because I perhaps have some sort of visual impairment. So the first thing you see now is this panel, which I can pop up, and it's really, this just helps you redeliver the page, or it helps me redeliver the page in the way that I choose. So it might be, for example, that I prefer to see the site because of the particular site impairment I've got. I want to see it in monochrome, so I can toggle that on and off. And there's all sorts of different things I might want to see, the fonts bigger or smaller. And from this panel, obviously, I can make those changes and adjustments to suit me and my particular need. So that's the kind of the basic level, I guess the basic level display that we've got there for anybody that visits your site. So that's quite good in itself and is available. But now I think we get on to what I think is the really special bit when we go into the actual Accessibility Content Manager itself. So I'm now going to switch on this screen. And this is basically now you as the website owner. So imagine you're not now the user or a visitor to the site, you are now the website owner. And I've got the ACM loaded, so I'm now going to log in to the site. And it's going to be demo@AAAtrack.com. There we go. And hopefully now it should ask me for a password. So then I'm going to obviously put in the password that I've got here. So it will just typically be your email address that will get you access to this. And then I'm going to press the page access piece here. Now this will take a couple of minutes to load. So what this is doing now is it's looking around the site for you and picking up some accessibility failures that we might want to have a look at. So That's now loaded. So I'll just press close and view. And now you can see on my screen, this is the same web screen that I had before, but now we've got some little red and with white, red little red circles with white exclamation marks in them, which tells me, as this is my website, I'm the website owner again here. This tells me that there are some potential failures that I need to have a look at. So all I do is I find the first one and I'm going to click on that. And hopefully you can see this on the screen. What it's going to say now is, okay, presently there is no alternative text for this particular image on this page, which obviously is a problem. And I need to have alt text for this image if I'm going to be making this accessible. And what you'll see now is that what the AI has done is suggested a description for that particular image. And I think a cutting board with strawberries looks pretty accurate. So I could just accept that, or I may decide that actually I want to add a little bit to that. I think I want to be more descriptive, and I put cutting board with strawberries on a tablecloth. Could be anything. So whilst the AI is suggesting what it is that it thinks it is, and it's really looking at our bank of 800 odd million images to come up with what it thinks it is, and I think it's pretty accurate. It doesn't force it upon me. The automation is not going to force me to take that description if I don't want to. I can update it and overtype it with anything that I want in there. Press the update image, and that's it, done. So you can see now the little red with white exclamation mark is now gone, and it really is. I mean, I'm not, you don't have to be an accessibility expert to fix these failures. You can just come onto the page. I haven't logged into the CMS. I haven't gone anywhere else. I'm just fixing these directly in the page. So then, so let's take a look at another one, just by way of example. Now, what it also knows here is I've clicked on that line there, so it looks at that's an image, and it's suggesting maybe that I'll need an alternative text for that. Well, as we know, this is just kind of a decorative image, just this line. So screen reader doesn't need to read anything about this out. So if you're using that assistive technology, I can just mark this now as a decorative image. It doesn't need an alternative text description. And again, I just update it. And that's that particular error fixed. So you can see there, I don't need to know anything about the standards particularly. I don't need to have any technical knowledge. As long as I can look at these pictures, etc., and type things in, or just check the box to say that I agree with the description it's suggested for me, that's it. I can do it. I don't need any other particular skills than that. So if I'm a content editor, this makes it very easy for me. You'll see one here that's got an orange sort of circle with a question mark in it. And this is now saying, well, you might want to check this because there might be something there, but it may or may not be right. So you want to kind of check it either way. So I've now gone into this particular image, and let's say that it was actually marked as a decorative image, which could happen. It will find that, and it will say, okay, you need to look at this and take some action. Again, it suggested the AI is generated here to say that it thinks it's a bowl of colourful fruit. I think that's a good description, so I'm going to do that. Click there, update the image, and again, that's that particular fix solved. It's done. And that's really as simple as that. And I can go through and look at different ones, obviously. I now maybe want to go and have a look at a different page. I think, well, I'll come back to those other two fixes later. I'll pop on to accessibility. There's another page on my site. And I turn the ACM on for there. Now, see, the ACM then is telling me I've got one error there. And so I think, okay, I want to turn the ACM to look at that particular error. There it is. It's found the problem there. Again, I can click on that, and then I can update that as I see fit. And as I move around the site, it will show me the amount of errors that I've got. So if I go back to my home page, which is the one I was on earlier, we can see that it still knows that I've got 2 errors to fix. Again, I can go on that, and those 2 errors will show up. So it really is pretty straightforward for, I think, for kind of anyone to use. And that's pretty much it in terms of how it works. Now, in addition to this particular functionality, so you've seen the two pieces there. You've got the one where you can redisplay the panel in the the web page in the way of your choosing. You've got here where you can fix content failures effectively. It's not going to fix the templates and those things. This is around content failures. This is why this webinar is about for content managers. And then the third thing that I can't really demonstrate to you, but what it will also do is manage your manage the sort of the fixing of your assets on your websites, things like PDFs, PowerPoints, Word documents, etc. And what it'll do, it will actually interrogate and find all of those particular documents and catalog them for you, build an inventory essentially of all those PDFs, etc. And it will help you then manage the remediation of those as well. So one thing is it finds them all, which I guess, you know, in big websites, and you've got a lot of these things, is a really good thing because, you know, we don't know where they all are. And once we've got them, then we can manage the remediation, and ACM does that for you as well. So that's the third piece of functionality that we have within the ACM. And I'm going to be quiet now and go back to Laura. Have we got any questions, or does anyone want to make any comments or ask anything at all?
Thank you, Rob. Oh, we have a raised hand. Mel, hello, welcome.
Hi, I'm from City of London Corporation, so I was just listening in there. I'm curious where these corrections are being made. Is that presumably just on the live site, so that you still need to go back and correct them within your CMS for when you updated a version in the future?
So what the plan for this would be that, yes, it is just on the page, and I think Martin's on the call and he can correct me if I'm wrong here, but on a more technical point. But the idea was that they would then be batch loaded back up into the CMS, so the CMS would be updated at a later date so that they both correlate. That's the plan for it. Martin, is there anything to add to that? Is that right?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct, Rob. You know, from our perspective, we provide you with a really short bit of JavaScript secure code, which you implement on every page of your site, a bit like kind of Google Analytics, you know, that type of code. And that kind of links directly with your content management system if you have one. And we'll obviously provide complete guidelines around how do you implement that, which is really kind of super simple. But yeah, absolutely correct.
Would that matter if you had a content management system that didn't use HTML pages and just basically created the content on the fly every time?
Yeah, no, that'd be fine. Basically, what we can do, we can have a conversation with you because there are going to be sort of anomalies where the systems are slightly different, but we can certainly work with you. You know, we've got no issues to implement this on any platform at all. So it might be just we need some bespoke instructions for yourself, which we'll happily work with you with.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
Great, thanks, Martin, for that. Anything else, Laura? Have we any more questions about a tool that we've got?
No, not as yet. Everybody's being pretty quiet so far. Here we go, Claire.
Hello.
Hello.
Can I ask a quick question? Can we change heading structures using the ACM? So because at the moment only the developers can do that, I can't. We use Drupal. So could we change if we're missing an H2 going straight to an H3? Can we do that?
I think the answer is no to that, but I will bow down to Martin again. If you wouldn't mind taking that particular question.
No problem at all. No, really good question. No, those sorts of things would be kind of absolutely integrated with your content management system, how those are built. So yeah, unfortunately, this wouldn't cover that type of area or use case, unfortunately.
Yeah,
okay,
I think.
Thank you.
No problem, Claire. I think that's a really good point though to bring up, and something I should really explain, and probably should have done at the start of the demo. You know, if we look at the the failures, of course, there will be some failures, as you've just pointed out there in the headers or whatever, but the vast majority of accessibility failures are indeed, in fact, content failures. So what the ACM for is specifically to help those people that are responsible for the content. So we don't need to get the technical team or any of those people involved at all. Yeah, they're still going to they've got to fix some of those issues as well, and the ACM doesn't help with that, but it actually addresses the big problems. So when we looked at a whole range of when the Cabinet Office were doing basically their kind of reviews and providing their reports, well over 90% of the failures they were reporting were content failures that didn't require any updates to via the CMS at all, and could be done using the ACM. So it's not going to fix 100% everything. It can't do that, but it's going to help people that haven't got the as you just a great example there, where you'd have to get your technical team to do that, but you don't have to with these basic content failures. You can just do them yourself without getting that technical team involved. That makes sense. Cool.
It does. Thank you.
Okay. Look, I'm happy to take any more questions. I mean, obviously we've got a little bit longer on this, so we can take, but I won't take up more time than we need to. But I did mention at the start that we have kind of offer for this. Now, Laura's given you some indication of the timescales of availability, but because I say it's Christmas coming up, so everybody that has a Sitemorse license for a particular site will get a free version of the ACM for that. So just if you've got a website that you've got a Sitemorse subscription for, you could have 10, it might be 1 or 5, you will get one free ACM user license for that site, for each Sitemorse subscription, if that's clear. Does that make sense? Did you get that, Laura? Did that make sense to you?
Yes, that made perfect sense, Rob. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll obviously let you know when that's going to be available, but that's going to be available to all Sitemorse clients. And of course, if you want to have more content publishers, etc., you can clearly you can upgrade, and all those details will to get more licenses if you like. But all that detail will be provided to you kind of nearer the time. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Kim. Yes, this has been recorded. So when we finished, if you just pop yourself onto our Sitemorse webinars on our website, and you'll be able to find the recording there, and you can go ahead, share it with whomever you like.
Good.
Stephen, hand up. Hello.
Yes, hello. Sorry, just coming off mute there. Apologies if I missed this, but I saw a lot of very good examples highlighting how missing alt text is spotted, and how the AI works to help you remedy that. Are there any other examples you can give us about the other types of failures that the ACM will pick up on and help you fix?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, obviously, here's another one. For example, I mean, obviously, it looks at the majority, but not all, of the kind of content failures. So here's a kind of another example, as you see there, that around link text, etc. And I think what's really good about this here is that I've not now got to log out and go to that page to understand what it is, if you like. It all does it from here, so it's giving me, probably not very easy to see on the screen. It's very easy for me to screen because I'm obviously using this, but over Teams doesn't always work very well. So that picture there is actually taking me to the accessibility page where that link would have taken me, and so I can update the description here without opening up another browser, going into another session, or doing anything. You can do it all from here. So there's one that would update that link if I was happy with that. It's gonna, here's another one. Obviously that's going to be where there's the form fields. That's another one where it's detected here that there's no description for the form field. So again, you can add your own words in there and then update that particular form. If it's wanted, I don't know, but the email address required or something, not the best description in the world, but you get the point. Update form. So pretty much all of your basic content failures, the ACM will find, and where it knows in our database that it's, the AI will basically make a suggestion on a vast majority of occasions, not on every occasion, but on the vast majority. Is that right, Stephen? Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Anything to add to that, kind of Martin or Mike or anyone to talk about some of the other failures that it finds?
No, I think that covers the kind of top ones that we've currently got at the moment. Obviously, email's a big thing where you've got duplicate same email address on multiple parts of the page, which will pick up because it's an accessibility failure because I think it's the same link. So there's loads of different other examples that you'll be able to see on your sites as well.
Thanks, Martin.
Nadine,
Anyone?
we have. Hello, Nadine.
Hello, hi Laura, hi Rob. Just one slightly peripheral question, but related. I think it might be related to content. But is the ACM intuitive enough to pick up on things like color contrasts?
So again, I'll bow to Martin, but I think the answer is no. You can change obviously the color contrast from the panel that we showed you to redisplay the page, but I don't think that it would. Martin, I'm gonna defer to you, but I don't think it will find color contrast.
Yeah, no, it's not something as Rob said, from the panel as a user, as in someone comes to your site, you'll be able to change the color contrast, but in terms of fix it and identifying it, no, that sits part as the broader Sitemorse product that we obviously kind of automatically scan your site for those areas. So at this stage, there's no plans to do that, but who's to say in a future roadmap that we wouldn't look to kind of inject that as well. But we're very much kind of focusing on the content piece here, in terms of kind of being compliant from that side of things. So but yeah, who to say, maybe in the future we might look at that.
Cheers, Martin. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, guys.
No worries. Anybody else? No? Well, I kind of leave it to you then, I think, to wrap up then, Laura, because I think we're pretty done. Okay, well, most of you I know very well, so please feel free to reach out to me after this webinar at any stage if you have any questions about the ACM or anything you can think of. Please feel free to drop me a line. As I said, the webinar recording will be made available on our webinar page on our website, and please feel free to share with anybody that you would like. And whilst you're on there as well, so it says shameless plug, there are also other webinars that please, all the registration pages are there, so feel free to register for those. We'll be running one a month. And in the meantime, I thank you very, very much indeed for joining us today.